About the author, from the Complete Book of Cheese. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Complete Book of Cheese by Robert Carlton Brown. About the author. Bob Brown, after living 30 years in as many foreign lands, and enjoying countless national cheeses at the source, returned to New York and summed them all up in this book. Born in Chicago, he was graduated from Oak Park High School and entered the University of Wisconsin at the exact moment when a number of imported Swiss professors in this great dairy state began teaching their students how to hole an Emmentaler. After majoring in beer and free lunch from Milwaukee to Munich, Bob celebrated the end of Prohibition with a book called Let There Be Beer, and then decided to write another about beer's best friend, cheese. But first he collaborated with his mother Cora and wife Rose on the wine cookbook, still in print after nearly 25 years. This first manual on the subject in America faced a baker's dozen food and drink books, including America Cooks, 10,000 Snacks, Fish and Seafood, and the South American Cookbook. For 10 years he published his own weekly magazines in Rio de Janeiro, Mexico City, and London. In the decade before that, from 1907 to 1917, he wrote more than 1,000 short stories and serials under his full name, Robert Carlton Brown. One of his first books, What Happened to Mary, became a bestseller and was the first 5-reel movie. This put him in Who's Who in his early 20s. In 1928 he retired to write and travel. After a couple of years spent in collecting books and bibelots throughout the Orient, he settled down in Paris with the expatriate group of Americans and invented the reading machine for their delectation. Nancy Cunard published his Words, and Harry Crosby printed 1450 to 1950 at the Black Sun Press, while in Cannes-sur-Mer Bob had his own imprint, Roving Eye Press, that turned out Demonics, Gems, a censored anthology, Globe Gliding, and Readies for Bob Brown's Machine, with contributions by Gertrude Stein, Ezra Pound, Kay Boyle, James D. Farrell, et al. The Depression drove him back to New York, but a decade later he returned to Brazil, that had long been his home away from home. There he wrote The Amazing Amazon with his wife Rose, making a total of 30 books bearing his name. After the death of his wife and mother, Bob Brown closed their mountain home in Petropolis, Brazil, and returned to New York, where he remarried and now lives in the Greenwich Village of his freelancing youth. With him came the family's working library in a score of trunks and boxes that formed the basis of a mail-order book business in which he specializes today in food, drink, and other out-of-the-way items. End of About the Author. End of The Complete Book of Cheese by Robert Carlton Brown.